Hello, everyone, and welcome to this first ever behind the scenes look at C-Suite on Your Street. I am LaTanya Howard, and as some of you know, I began hosting and producing a television show called C-Suite on Your Street, which is a business education show that I produced with Laurel TV starting last year in early 2018. And we had a lot of success with the show. We were able to record a number of episodes that provided valuable information to small business owners wherever they are in their entrepreneurial journey. And I look forward to having more guests this year and much more information to help small business owners succeed. But what I want to focus on today, once again, is something that's been going on behind the scenes, a very important contributor and member of the team, Mr. Alan Greenstein. How are you, Alan?
Oh, doing great.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. Alan is a force to be reckoned with, if you will, when it comes to the creative community. He is a blogger, he is a producer, and he is a brand ambassador. He works with so many creative projects, both as a direct participant, as well as behind the scenes as a producer, as a writer, and also as a funder. So we are so lucky to have Alan Greenstein on the team. And what he does specifically with C-Suite on Your Street is that he helps to manage the social media aspects of the project. And he does this with many other projects as well, which he's going to share some of those insights and experiences with us. And one of the other things that's really neat about Alan is that he is the creator of a blog and another creative project called Support Our Creatives, which is an umbrella organization, if you will, that supports a number of creative people and projects throughout the Washington, D.C. area. So Alan Greenstein is such a valuable asset to C-Suite on Your Street specifically, but the creative community at large. And welcome once again, Alan. I'm so much looking forward to you sharing your insights and experiences with us today.
I'm happy to be here. I'm looking forward to letting people know about what I do.
Awesome. So with that in mind, why don't you tell us first, what got you involved with working with creatives in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, well, I've been interested in getting involved with the entertainment industry for a long time, but social media made it all possible. When I discovered Twitter in 2009 and signed up for it, not really sure what I'd be doing with it, but then I was really surprised that producers on various projects started reaching out to me and asked me if I wanted to help to fund their project. So that's really where it started. Was just helping fund, and then to get certain credit, like a producer or associate producer, something like that. But as over the years, as I've learned more about how the entertainment industry works, I've actually gotten to really contribute more than just financially. Like, for example, I might get involved in pre-production activity, like reviewing scripts, or maybe in post-production, reviewing film clips, and reviewing any kind of documentation that might come along, maybe a treatment or a pitch deck. So so really that's where I started getting even deeper involved, and I've even developed long-term relationship with certain producers, and finally, starting in 2015, I actually got the opportunity to start actually working on set behind the scenes of various projects here in the Washington, D.C. area. So that's really how where it started.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what you do with C-Suite on Your Street specifically. I think I touched on the fact that you help with the social media, but tell us, what you do and what your approach has been specifically with the social media aspect of this particular project.
Yes. So for C-Suite on Your Street, as LaTanya said, I'm in charge of I'm called social media administrator. And what we did, LaTanya and I created a Facebook page for C-Suite on Your Street. We decided to start with Facebook first and see how it goes. And basically what we do, we came up with a posting schedule. We go over the course of a month, kind of geared to the approximately monthly episodes of C-Suite on Your Street on Laurel TV. Based upon the scheduling of an episode, we have different kinds of posts that we say we're going to make at different times. Like, for example, we post a link to the episode when it becomes available online. We have a quote of the month that might be related to the episode that we're talking about. We post action items that have come out of the episode, because typically for every episode, the the guests will present certain action items that entrepreneurs should follow in order to become successful. And also, we also have what we call a snippet. A snippet basically is we take away or key point from the episode, and we post about that also. And so basically we see that in a post, and then that's basically the pretty much what we do for C-Suite on Your Street. But in addition to that, we even post business-related articles from around the web.
Right, right. Because the key to that is that, business owners, come in different sizes and different shapes, and they're in different phases of their business. And you never know what specific piece of information, whether it's a snippet from the show, whether it's watching the whole show in general, whether it's the quote of the month, or whether it's sharing information from a periodical about a specific issue in entrepreneurship. It's all about adding value to the business community. And you're absolutely right. The approach that you take is to really provide a number of different ways to educate small business owners, whether it's through those modalities that we just talked about, or perhaps a new one that you and I will come up with as we continue along this project. But that the end goal is to educate small business owners and leveraging social media to help get that message out and make the project more successful.
Yes, that's right.
Right. Now, is that a similar approach that you take with some of the other projects that you're involved in? Because C-Suite on Your Street is not the only project that you handle the social media administration for. Is that correct?
That's right. And one example is one of my filmmaking contacts in New York has been producing a film called The Haunted Mind of an Insomniac. Her name is, by the way, the writer and producer is Danielle Earl, and she's based in New York. So we have a Facebook page called Haunted Mind of an Insomniac. And what we decided to do on that page is all the posts that we make have to do with film noir as a subject, because the film that she's creating, Haunted Mind, is actually of the film noir genre. So what we decided to do is all that posts would be about something about film noir, whether it be maybe a trailer of a film noir from the past, or some other article about film noir. So that's how we decided for that. That's another example. Obviously, it's a lot different than what we're doing for C-Suite on Your Street, but in either case, we kind of come up with a theme. What are the kind of things that we want to post, and for The Haunted Mind of an Insomniac, I actually do it on Facebook as well as Twitter.
Okay.
So there's another example of a page of a social media page that I manage.
Wow, that's exciting, and it's interesting how you take different approaches that are unique to the particular project that you're working on to make sure that social media is used in a way that's most effective for that project. Because even though social media is something that's commonplace and that most people are familiar with, the approach to social media management is not a one-size-fits-all type of approach. So you've really demonstrated how you take different strategies using the same platform to achieve the goals of whatever that particular project is.
Yes, and that's really one of the challenges of trying to use social media effectively, is you have to know, just like that, what would be the best way of, what kind of things should you post that you think would have the greatest benefit. And by the way, it's also an ongoing process, because we come up with certain ideas, but then it's going to evolve over time. We get more experience. That's what we're doing, or things that we think might work better. So as I said, it's not carved in stone. We allow us to evolve and maybe change the themes or whatever of what we're posting.
Right, absolutely, and adaptability is absolutely important to using social media or being in business altogether. And once again, your contribution to C-Suite on Your Street has been invaluable, and I certainly look forward to continuing to work with you on the social media aspects of the project. Let's talk a little bit more now about some of the other things that you do, because social media is just one piece of your portfolio as it pertains to working with creatives and entertainment. As I said in the beginning, you also do writing, you also do producing, you're also a funder. Tell us a little bit about some of those other roles that you have and any specific recent projects that you've been involved with.
Okay, so I am currently involved with many projects in some capacity. Some projects that are being done out of town, I obviously don't get to be on set for, but I still try to be active in whatever capacity that I can do remotely.
Mm-hmm.
But, I have a couple of examples that I want to bring up for stuff I'm doing actually around here, so you can see the kind of stuff I do behind the scenes. There's a currently in production that I'm working on right now. This is being filmed. We have a web series called Combinations. It's a crime drama about the corrupt boxing and corrupt cops. So that's currently that's currently in what we call the principal photography phase. This means that we go to set and we actually film it. And
Right.
and another one is called The C Word, which is also currently being filmed. This web series, which is filming for its second season right now, follows a celibate man as he negotiates relationships. So there's kind of funny and serious elements involved with that. So my most frequent behind the scenes roles are as production assistant and script supervisor. And those are the things I really like doing. And a script supervisor basically does anything that he's asked to do, which
Right.
might include things like carrying equipment, dressing the set, putting props in place. It should be just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I do when I'm acting as a as a production assistant is I do the slate, which of course is where you indicate the scene and the take that's being done. Use a clapperboard.
Okay.
And then that's an important role this way, because that helps the sound people and the video people sync the sound appropriately
Okay.
based upon the time that you do that. So that's one thing. And another thing I like to do, and I've done it in a number of projects, is the script supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
And what a script supervisor does, well, among the activities, and there's so many of them, but I'll just mention a few of them. We run lines with the actors prior to shooting a scene. So basically, we're not filming yet, but they may be rehearsing or something like that, and I make sure that the lines are being done appropriately by the actors. And they might ask me to feed them lines. For example, they can't remember what the line is, so I also make sure to do that. And while filming is actually going on, I follow down the script while they're doing the filming, and if I see anything significant was missed or in error, then I will bring that up after after they yell cut, and then this way they'll be aware that something was missed. So then of course they would do it over again. Obviously, I mean, generally you do multiple takes, but that's one reason why we do a take, because maybe they missed an important line, or sometimes they might just forget what to say, and they kind of just don't, all of a sudden they don't say anything. So then the director might ask them to feed them the lines, and then they will continue shooting. So that's what a script supervisor does.
Okay.
I think some of the things that a script supervisor does. So as I said, those two particular projects are the two right now that are actually being filmed that I'm working on right here in the Washington D.C. area.
Wow. So it sounds like you have your hands in just about every aspect of, movie production or project production, whether it's behind the scenes, like you mentioned, or even in front of the camera. You and I think, have talked about some of the projects that you've been involved in, maybe as an extra or having a more central role in front of the camera. So it sounds like you do a little bit of everything. Is there any aspect that you find more enjoyable or more challenging than the other, or anything that you tend to have a greater interest in than other roles, or
Okay,
any
well,
comparison point?
yeah, well, I think that as I said, I might do various behind the scenes, but for these productions being done in this area. But I think the thing I like doing the best is a script supervisor.
Interesting. Why is that?
Well, because this way I really have to concentrate on what's going on. It forces me to learn the script also, which means that I have to, so I really understand what's coming out. I don't have to memorize it, but I still have to be familiar with the flow of the script, so that I'm prepared to do an appropriate thing. Whether I have to feed a line or something like that, so I'll know exactly where I am, so I can feed the line right away. And I think that takes some practice too, because sometimes I actually lose track of where I am. So obviously, but as I do more and more, I'll get better at that. Make sure I'm at the right place at the right time in the script, so that I can be right there in case they need my assistance.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. So let's talk now about support our creatives. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is one of another project that you're involved in, but this is yours personally. This is your baby. This is something that is your brainchild, something that you brought to fruition as a way to help creatives. So tell us about support our creatives, how it began and what its focus is and what its goals are for the creative community.
Okay. Well, you know, I've been doing the kind of stuff I've been talking about for a while. But then I was talking with a friend who has a business advising people regarding social media, and she suggested that I document my experiences in a blog. So, and that's where I started my website called Support Our Creatives, and that's also the name of the blog. And so that's where the Support Our Creatives terminology itself came from, which, by the way, it's been trademarked. So
Congratulations on that. I know that's a long process, and I'm glad it was successful for you.
So I said, well, you know, I may as well use Support Our Creatives as like the umbrella terminology, you know, the umbrella over all the activities that I've been doing, whether it be funding or being behind the scenes on set or reviewing material, whatever it is having to do with creatives. So Support Our Creatives is really more than just a blog. The blog is just part of where I actually document my experiences. And I think it's important to have that documented so I can always look back and see how far I've come. And also people can also learn about, you know, the kind of stuff that I do. And of course I encourage you know, people to contact me if they have any projects going on. You know, like then they can contact me, of course, through Support Our Creatives, and I give the link information at the end of this.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah. So, and by the way, I use the term creatives a lot. I don't want to leave the impression that a creative is just something that's limited to the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like in your situation, you started your own business, and you also interview entrepreneurs who have started their own businesses, and those are creatives as well.
Yes.
So once again, you know, by working with you, it's another aspect of supporting creatives, and so it's important. Anybody who can come up with an idea and bring it to fruition, whether it's in entertainment or in the business world or any other world you can think of, you guys are all creatives too.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you said that, because one of the things that I've learned as I've been on my entrepreneurial journey since most recently since 2012 is how entrepreneurship kind of opens creative valves that we probably all may have lying dormant within us or hidden somewhere. I didn't realize that I have all of this creativity in me, and I'm glad that I've been able to express it, and I'm glad that you've been able to help me express it and kind of pull it out of me, because you and I have had this conversation before where I kind of resisted the fact that I'm creative, and you're like, no, LaTanya, you are a creative. So that really has been helpful for me and has helped me to really tap into that creative ability, and who knows how far that can go. So, you know, just thank you for all that you're doing. You are involved once again in so many different things, and you have so many wonderful services to offer. So for those who are interested in learning more about you and the projects that you're involved in, and perhaps even having you involved in their projects, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, I think the best way to get in contact with me is to go to my website, which is supportourcreatives.com. And on that website, there's a contact page where people can contact me through that, or they can just send me the email to alan@supportourcreatives.com. And in addition to that, you can also reach me through my social media pages, Support Our Creatives on Twitter or Facebook. And I appreciate any any leads that people can actually give me, you know, that will lead to additional opportunities for me.
Absolutely. Well, Alan, thank you so much. This has been an enlightening discussion. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to say to the creative community, or any other tidbits that you want to share before we wrap up?
I just feel so worthwhile to me to help the creatives out there, you know, achieve what they want to achieve, and I'm glad I can be a part of it.
Yes, and you provide a lot of value to a number of people and a number of projects throughout the area. I know that 2019 is going to be another successful year for you. I feel fortunate to have met you and to be able to work with you with C-Suite on your street, and I think the best is still yet to come. So congratulations to you on everything, and thank you for all that you do for the creative community.
And may I indicate some stuff that's coming out in 2019 that I'm working on?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. So um, there are two things that are currently scheduled to come out in 2019 that I've
Okay.
been actually working on. They're both being produced once again around here. One is called Shock Nation, which is a web series that
Mm-hmm.
follows inner city high school students who find meaningful experience in dancing. And as a matter of fact, on March 10th, we're actually going to have a premiere uh,
Okay.
of the web series. And
And where's that going to be? Where's that premiere going to be on March
oh
10th?
well, that's at the Hoyts Theaters up in Lithicum near the
Okay.
airport. And
Okay.
yeah, as a matter, and if you go to Shock Nation, you'll be able to get a link to the Eventbrite that you could actually buy tickets.
Okay.
Yeah. And, and
Okay.
then um, and then another one is a short film called Collision and Be Sage, which is about two guys who frame each other for the murder of a child. And that is going to be released sometime in 2019. I'm not sure exactly when. So
Okay.
at least those are two I'm aware of that are in the 2019 timeframe.
Okay. So definitely we need to keep March 10th in mind and to be determined for the second project that you mentioned sometime in 2019.
Yes, and when that date becomes available, people will certainly know, on social media,
Okay.
they'll be posting all about it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Alan. This has been wonderful. Keep up the wonderful work that you're doing for the creative community, and much continued success to you in 2019.
And continued success to you.
All right. Thank you. See you later.
Bye.